Hello friends, so after completing the second problem, I am going to start with the next problem. Now this time this problem is more difficult than the previous one. So here we'll have a function y, and for that we'll find out the nth derivative and we'll prove the result with the help of Leibniz theorem. So students, here the value of y is given as cos of m sin inverse x, and we have to prove this given result, and then we have to find out the value of yn of 0. Now guys, you can see here that the y is the trigonometric function, and to get the answer we should find the value of y of n plus 2. So as I explained in the previous video, that whenever we want to find out the nth derivative, so to get yn we can directly apply the Leibniz theorem, but whenever we want to find out y of n plus 1 or y of n plus 2, that time we should go till the first or second derivative. So to get y of n plus 2, we should reach the second derivative, that is y2, and then we should apply the Leibniz theorem formula so that we can get y of n plus 2. So here I'll do the same thing. First of all, I'll go till y of 2 and then I'll find out the nth derivative. So you have to remember this trick in the exam, that whenever you have this type of question, you have to see the highest derivative. So in our case, the highest derivative y of n plus 2. So to get that highest derivative, you have to find out first few derivatives. So since we have highest derivative as y of n plus 2, we will go till y of 2 and then we'll apply the Leibniz theorem. So same trick you will apply. If you have y of n plus 3, you will find the derivative till y3 and then you will find out the nth derivative, that is y of n plus 3, by using the Leibniz theorem. So let's start. So guys, first of all, I'll find out the y2, that is the second derivative of this y. So for that, let's go with the first derivative and then let's find out the second derivative. So first derivative, that is y1, is given as minus sine m into sine inverse of x, then into derivative of sine inverse of x, which is 1 upon under root 1 minus x square, into m, because m is a constant. Now guys, what I'll do is I'll shift this under root 1 minus x square on the left hand side, so that will become. Next we'll find out the second derivative, so I'll call this as, let's say, equation number 1. Now we'll find out the second derivative from here, so that we'll get y2. So guys, here to get the second derivative we have to apply UV rule. So by UV rule we will get this under root 1 minus x square as it is, y1 will give you y2 plus y1 as it is, and this will give us 1 upon 2, that is derivative of root x is 2 root 1 minus x square into derivative of 1 minus x square, that is minus 2x, equal to this minus m as it is. Derivative of sine is cos of m sine inverse x into, here we'll get 1 upon under root 1 minus x square as a derivative of sine inverse x, and m as it is, so into m. So guys, here what we'll do is we will multiply throughout with under root 1 minus x square. The reason is, if you observe here the result, then with y of n plus 2 we have 1 minus x square, but here with y2 we got under root 1 minus x square. So it means we have to remove that root, and to remove root I will multiply throughout by under root 1 minus x square. So under root 1 minus x square into under root 1 minus x square will be 1 minus x square into y2. So here I'll write, therefore, next if I multiply this second term with under root 1 minus x square, then this will be cancelled, also 2 and 2 cancelled. So here we'll get negative xy1 equal to, here minus m cos of m sin inverse x into m upon under root 1 minus x square. I'll multiply this with under root 1 minus x square, so this under root will be cancelled and this m and m will become m square. So we will get negative m square. Now guys, if you observe the question, the value of y is given as cos of m sin inverse x, and here we again got the value of cos, so I can say that this is y. So therefore we will get 1 minus x square into y2 equal to, this will be minus m square y, and this will become plus x y1. So guys, I'll call this as equation number 2. Now you can observe that we got the value of y2, and now we can apply the Leibniz theorem to get the nth derivative, because now we can get the value of y of n plus 2. So here I'll say by Leibniz theorem. So guys, here you can see that here we have two functions which are multiplying each other. So whenever we want to find out the Leibniz theorem, we take one function as u for which the n derivative is possible. So now for y2 the n derivative is possible, so this will be my u. So we find the n derivative of that function, so we will get y of n plus 2 into v. So this function will behave as v, so this 1 minus x square as it is, plus next is n, then u of n minus 1, that is derivative just previous to this, so that derivative is y of n plus 1 into v1. v1 is the derivative of v, which is minus of 2x, plus we will get n minus 1 upon 2 factorial, then derivative previous to this, that is y of n, then derivative of v1, that is minus 2. Now guys, here we will stop, because if I find out the next term, then there the derivative of minus 2 will become 0. So I will not write down the next term. So this is the left hand side, equal to here minus m square as it is. The nth derivative of y is given as yn, plus, now guys, here again we have x into y1, that is UV rule. So we'll again apply the Leibniz theorem to get the nth derivative. So nth derivative of y1 is y of n plus 1, then v as it is, plus next term is n, then u of n minus 1, that is nth derivative, or just previous to nth derivative, we will get y of n, because here this was the nth derivative, so one step previous to n derivative is y of n. Next v1 is the derivative of x, which is 1, and we'll stop here again, because the next derivative will be 0. Now guys, we'll simplify these terms. So here I can cancel this 2 with 2, and what we can do is we can take similar terms together. So this 1 minus x square y of n plus 2 will remain here, because this is a single term. Next, this is the y of n plus 1 term. On the right hand side we have one more term. I'll take this on the left hand side. So guys, from here we have minus 2nx as the coefficient, and if this term comes to left hand side, that will become minus. So I'll take minus common, in bracket 2n plus 1 into x y of n plus 1. So what I did is I took this on the left hand side, that will become negative, and from these two terms I have taken x and y of n plus 1 common. In the bracket we got 2n plus 1. Next, here we will get plus n, this is n square minus n into yn. The sign is negative, so we'll write down the negative sign here. So this is minus n square, and due to the negative sign this will become plus n. Then y of n equal to, this is minus m square y of n, and this is plus n y of n. I am not considering this term because this we have already shifted to left hand side. So now guys, let's simplify again. So these two terms will remain as it is. Here I'll write down these two terms as it is, and then I'll multiply this each term with y of n. Now guys, here we'll get minus n square yn plus nyn, and I'll take these two terms on the left hand side. So this will become positive and this will become negative, so equal to 0. Now guys, here I can cancel this positive nyn with negative nyn, and from these two terms I can take yn common, so in bracket we'll get m square minus n square, so we'll get, and guys, if you observe the question, then whatever the result that is expected, we have proved it. So here we got the result. So I'll call this as equation number 3 now. Now guys, we have to find the value of yn of 0. So let's start with this. So guys, let me tell you that when we have the value of y1, this is nothing but y1 of x. So we know that y is a function of x, so we can also write it as y1 of x. So y2 will be written as y2 of x, and obviously yn will be written as yn of x. Now since we want the value of yn of 0, it means x is treated as 0. So what I'll do is, in equation number 1, 2 and 3, I will substitute x as 0. So here I'll say, so this is equation number 1. So if I put x as 0, here we'll get only y1. So y1 of 0 equal to, here x is 0, so sine inverse 0 is 0 and sine of 0 is 0. So it means guys we'll get answer as 0. Next, this is equation number 2. So if I put x as 0, this will be y2 only. So here I'll say y2 of 0 equal to, here we'll get negative m square y of 0, and here we will get x into y1 of 0. But guys, we know that y1 of 0 is 0, so I'll not write that term. So this is the value of y2 of 0. Now you must be thinking, what is y of 0? So let's come back to the question. So this is the value of y. Now to get the value of y of 0, I will put x as 0 in this. So here we'll get sine inverse of 0, which is 0, and cos of 0 as 1. So it means guys, the value of y of 0 is equal to 1, and therefore this y2 of 0 will be negative m square. After that, we'll put this x equal to 0 in equation number 3, which is given here. So we will get y of n plus 2. This will be 1. So y of n plus 2 of 0. Here x is 0. So this term will be 0. And here, if I shift it to the other side, we will get negative of m square minus n square y n of 0. Now guys, the question is, we have to find out the value of yn of 0. So here we got the relationship. So now to get the answer of yn of 0, here you can see that n can have different values. So n can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. So it means we can say that n will be even or n will be odd. Now guys, if you observe here, then we got the value of y1 of 0 as 0. Now let's say if I want to find out the value of y3. So what I'll do is, in this result, I will put n as 1. So we will get 1 plus 2, 3. So that is y3 of 0. Here we'll get y1 of 0 because I am putting n as 1. Now guys, y1 of 0 is already 0. So if I put value here, so I'll get y3 of 0 as 0. So it means we can get all odd terms as 0. So what I'll do is, to find out the value of yn of 0, I will put n as odd values in this result and then as the even value. So I'll call this as equation number 4. So here I'll say, put n equal to 1, 3, 5, 7 and so on. That is all odd values. So we will get y3 of 0, because if n is 1, this is 1 plus 2, that is 3. So y3 of 0, here we will get equal to minus of m square minus n square y1 of 0. Now guys, value of y1 of 0 is 0, and that is why we'll get answer as 0. Next we'll put n as 3. So if n is 3, this is 3 plus 2, that is 5. So we'll get y5 of 0. So in this case, if n is 3, here we'll get y3 of 0, and guys, we know that y3 of 0 is 0, therefore y5 of 0 is 0. So it means we'll get next term y7 of 0 as 0. So therefore all odd terms will be 0. So this is the value. Now let's move to the even terms. So here I'll say, put n as 0, 2, 4, 6 and so on. So if I put n as 0, here we'll get y2 of 0, which is equal to, here we already got the answer, that is negative m square. So guys, this value is given. Next we'll put n as 2. So if I put n as 2, here we will get answer as n as 2. So we'll get 2 plus 2, that is 4. Now if we put n as 2, so here this will become 2 plus 2 4, that is y4 of 0 equal to, so guys here we will get 2 square. Now due to the negative sign, this will become negative, this will be positive. So here I'll say it is 2 square minus m square into this n is 2, so y2 of 0. Now guys, value of y2 of 0 is minus m square, so here I'll keep minus sign and m square. So this is the value of y4 of 0. Next I'll put n as 4. So if I put n as 4, I'll get 4 plus 2, that is 6. So y6 of 0. If I put that 4 in the right hand side, we'll get 4 square here. Due to the negative sign, this will become positive, this will be negative. So here I'll say it is 4 square minus m square into, this is y4 of 0. So guys, y4 of 0 is this. If I put value here, so minus 2 square minus m square into m square. So guys, if I keep putting these values, that is 6, then 8 and 10, then I'll get this series continuously. So now if I summarize everything, then here I can say that value of yn of 0 is 0 if n is odd. So for all odd values, we are getting answer as 0. And in this case, I'll say the value of yn of 0 will be this sign as negative. And here we'll get the first term, that is the highest term, as this n minus 2 the whole square minus m square, and then so on till 4 square minus m square, 2 square minus m square and into m square. So we will, in case of y of n, we'll get the highest term as n minus 2 the whole square. So guys, we will get this result in case of if n is even. So now if you observe the question, then we have proved this given result, and also we got the value of yn of 0. So guys, I'm sure you understood how I got the result and how I proved the value of yn of 0. So keep watching our videos, because in the next video I'm gonna cover more numericals on successive differentiation. Also don't forget to share our channel with your friends, so that they can also get benefited through such a wonderful videos of Ekeeda, because we all faculties are taking efforts to make videos for all of you, so that you can get good marks in engineering and you can clear all your concepts of engineering. And if you are planning to appear for GATE or any higher studies, then these videos are much important for you. Thank you very much.